Okay guys, so are you looking to build beautiful online courses like these ones here, but you're not the techie type of person, meaning you're not too comfortable setting up a server, registering a domain name, installing WordPress, all the necessary plugins, and all the security updates as well? Then if that's the case, this video is definitely the right one for you, because today we are going to discover Learn-Cloud. So that means that now you can build courses without any of the technical stuff, and you can be up and running in no time. Okay, so let's have a look at this solution. So there it is guys, Learn-Cloud, a full website ready to go. So this is the key basically, with Learn-Complete, with beautiful templates and customization tools to let you build courses that match your brand. So that comes complete, hands-off maintenance, you don't have to worry about anything. It's complete with WordPress and also premium templates and add-ons. How much does it cost? Only $29 per month. And if you decide to go annually, you can save 2 months. It's only $299 per year. Again, they offer 15 days money back guaranteed, so you don't have to worry one bit. If you register with them, you're not happy, ask for a refund, and that's basically it. Okay, so all you have to do now to get started is to buy either of those. So you can start with 1 month, you can go for the full annual license as well, all the same, and then you'll have access to your backend. So after this, all you have to do is basically access your account, and it will look something like this. So as you can see, I went for the 1-year subscription, so until January 2024, until next year. This is your URL, and right here we have 3 different buttons. So this one is visit admin, so this is to access your WordPress dashboard. So let's click on this. Very good, and now you need your credentials. So we go back to our dashboard here, and as you can see we have show site creds. So this is for our credentials. Very good. So this is your username. Copy this, Control C, Control V, and do the same with your password. That's a big long password, that's definitely secure, and then log in. There you go. So you can save that if you want to, So let's dismiss this message, and welcome to your WordPress dashboard. As you can see, you have by the side all these different tabs. So basically Learn-LMS, everything for your courses, Learn-Cloud, how to set everything up, appearance, plugins. So these are the usual WordPress, except you have all these built in already. But the nice thing, the nice touch is that you have a setup tab here, so you don't have to worry about anything. You can set up everything manually if you wanted to, but again here this is for beginners and you don't need any technical skills. Okay, so what we can do is just basically click on setup. And as you can see, you have a few different steps. So first, you're going to set up your site. So I'll give them a bit of information. What's your site and courses details, what's all about. Then you can design your website choosing a template, and then you can configure payment and so on and so on. So it's a very easy process, as you can see, right? So now let's take care of setting up our website. So let's click on the very first one here. So let's click on this. And there you go. Welcome to Learn-. So let me hide myself for a second. As you can see, you have this button here, get started. So all you have to do basically is click on this, and we are ready to go. So let's set a password and a username. So I'm just going to put here Mr. Web, okay? And you create a password. So I'm just going to use Google Chrome here, the feature, So basically suggest a password, but you can type your own, obviously, and then click next. So here we need to put our site name. So I'm just going to put Mr. Web, okay? Tagline. So let's say maybe learn how to design websites step by step. And we can even include a logo. So let's add a new logo here. And for this, all we have to do is click add logo. So let's select this one here. As you can see, this is our logo. And then click next. So right here, how many courses are you planning to create? Just one or multiple? So let's click just one for now. You can always add more afterwards, obviously, and then you need to select what types of courses will you have. So check all the apply, So basically here for us is going to be a video or text-based courses. So we're going to use my videos here as an example, And do we offer certificate afterwards? Yes. Do you want it to be timed? This is really up to you. So here I'm not going to select this, and this is group courses, probably not is one-on-one. Okay, so let's click next now. Now here's the big question. Do you want to charge for your courses? Or we're going to select yes here, okay? And you can use Stripe, or if you want to use any other payment method, you can use WooCommerce as well. So just for the sake of argument here, we're going to use WooCommerce and pretend that we are using PayPal or maybe Amazon Pay or maybe Google Pay or any of the other methods, okay? And then which currency will you like to accept? So we're going to select here, we're going to go with US dollars, okay? So USD, and then next. And that's basically it. Okay, so next, save and complete. And there you go, now we're back to our dashboard. As you can see, set up your site. This is now completed. Now let's take care of our design. So we're going to select a starter template. Okay, so let's click on this. And as you can see, you have all these different options here. So they're all very nice, beautiful looking sites, templates, obviously, you know. So you can select the one that suits you best and the one that you prefer. So let's say we're going to select something related to tech. So perhaps this one here, okay? So we can have a quick preview if you want, you know. Click on this and you scroll down. As you can see, this is actually very nice, very professional looking. So we might use this one, you know, as an example here. So let's close this and let's go ahead. So let's select this one and then we'll click next. So let me remove myself again. So click next. Very good. So this is loading, so you can select the font immediately here. So as you can see, the font will set the mood, obviously, you know. If you were to select this one, what does it look like? Maybe this one. So again, select something that's in line with your branding and something that you like, obviously, you know. So let's go maybe perhaps with this one. Again, click next. And now from here, you can select your color scheme. So my logo is it's blue and dark blue. So maybe I'll select this one here. So next. Very good. So this is a quick preview. That looks absolutely fine. And if you're happy enough, you can save and continue. So now, as you can see, it is activating the theme. So Kadence template and all the starter templates, everything is being designed for us automatically with no effort from our side. There you go. And now we can go back to the WordPress dashboard. So exit to setup. And again, we have the quick overview here. So the setup is done, the design is done, the payment is done. And as you can see, the last step will be to go live and to link our actual domain name, you know, but we'll take care of this last minute, obviously. So next, what do we need to do? Well, basically, we need to start creating our courses and also take care of the front end and make sure that the website looks exactly the way we want it to look like. Okay, so we go to our Learn-LMS tab here. As you can see, we have courses, lessons, topics, quizzes, questions, certificate groups, and challenge exams. So these are the first initial steps we need to take care of. So if we go to our courses here, and by default you will have a sample course pre-built in LearnDash that you can delete obviously afterwards, but it's just to show you how this works. So basically you have courses like this one, web design course, the complete package. A course is made out of lessons. So here we have intro, but you can create more, obviously, you know, and every lesson has different topics. As you can see, this one has 1.1, why design matters, and 3.2, creating a palette, etc., etc. So how does it look like in the front end? So let's have a quick look. There's only one course on this website. So let's click on the link here, course. So here we have the title of our course, so web design course, the complete package. If you scroll down, you will see the course content. So we have intro, so this is the lesson. So if you have more than one lesson, they'll all be listed here on top of each other. If you click on your lesson, as you can see, this one contains one topic, and if you scroll down, this is the content, why design matters. And if you click on this, you will discover the topic, and then you can go from one to the other. And once you're done, basically you mark this as complete, and you will go to the next one. And as you can see, progress bar says 100% now. So this is basically how this works, okay? So let's go back here. What we're going to do is start afresh. We're going to trash this one, delete. Let's go to our lessons, delete, and we'll do the same with the topics. So let's select these, bulk select, move to trash, apply. There you go. So let's start afresh with a new course. Now, obviously, when you create a course, you have to think about it beforehand. You need to make sure that you know exactly how your course is going to be laid out, you know. So let's say, for instance, I have one here. So web design course for beginners. So I would start normally with lesson 1. You would have the initial setup. So 1.1 could be setting up your hosting, 1.2 registering a domain name, 1.3 installing WordPress on your server. Once this is done, I would go out to lesson 2, then configuring WordPress. So 2.1 is your dashboard, 2.2 installing a theme, 2.3 a plugin, 2.4 importing demo content, and then 2.5 installing maintenance mode. So these are the steps we would normally take. So whatever course you're building, obviously, you need to think about this beforehand before you can actually implement that here in LearnDash. So let's go ahead with this, okay? So we're going to create our course first. So this is step number 1. Create a new course. So add new. So I have this open in the other screen here, so I'm just going to copy and paste. Okay, so this course is called Web Design Course for Beginners. And that's basically it. Okay, so add course content here, so you can put a small description here. So let's paste something here. So maybe this, I found a description online just to make our life easier. So that's basically it. And now if you click on update, let's go back to the home page, and that's basically what it looks like. Okay, so you have Web Design Course for Beginners, and this is our description. Okay, so whatever you're going to put here will show in the front end right there. And then after this, we can create our course. So we go to the builder right here, and now we can add lessons and quizzes if we wanted to as well. Okay, so let's go back to our structure here. So this is our title, Web Design for Beginners. We have this, and let's start with the lesson. So we have lesson 1 and lesson 2, so initial setup and configuring WordPress. So let's create these together. So let's add a new lesson, and I'm just going to copy and paste those lesson titles here. So lesson 1 is initial setup, and let's add lesson 2. So this is lesson 2, configuring WordPress. And then we can do the same with quizzes. So if you want to add quizzes at the end before they can proceed to the next lessons, you can create this here. Okay, and then we have our settings as well. So we're going to keep this for last. First, let's create our courses. Okay, as you can see, there's quite a few options here. So for now, we're just going to click update. So let's go back to the front end and let's refresh. So there you go. As you can see, Web Design Course, we have our description, and this is the content. You have lesson 1 and lesson 2. Now if I click on lesson 1, obviously there's nothing here, so we have to create all the different steps now. Okay, so let's go back here. We go back to the course. So as you can see, this is done. This is our course. Our course has 2 different lessons at the moment, and now we need to add the topics basically. Okay, so as you can see here from our structure, we have course, lessons, and now these subsections, basically these are the topics. Okay, so let's create them together now. So let's create one. So let's add new, and let's give it a title. Okay, so the first one here is called 1.1 setting up your hosting, and we're going to add a little bit of description as well. Okay, so I'm going to copy and paste something here, maybe something like that. Okay, there you go. In this lesson, we will guide you through the process of setting up your hosting, Okay, so we go to settings. So here, this is basically where you're going to enter all the content of that topic. As you can see, you have topic material. So here you can enter maybe some excerpt or something like this, you know. So let's copy and paste the exact same again. As you can see here, any content added below is displayed on the topic page. So a nice recap maybe of the content. This is nice. And then most courses nowadays are using videos, which is much easier, obviously, you know. So as you can see, you have the video progression. So let's click on this and let's insert a video from my YouTube channel, for instance. Okay, so let's grab this one. So I'm going to right click, copy link address, and let's paste it here. So now obviously this is going to work with YouTube, Vimeo, or any of those video broadcasting platforms. Okay, so just underneath we have display timing. So here we have before completing sub steps or after completing sub steps. So by default it's after, because it's the logical steps to follow, but this is really up to you the way you want to structure your course. Obviously, as you can see, this one, if you select after, the video will be visible after the user has completed the topic's associated steps, and the full video must be watched in order to complete the topic, which is usually how it is. But again, this is really up to you. You can select the other one if you see fit. Okay, so you can also enable auto start, show the video controls, video pause on window and focus. So if you scroll out of the window, basically, you know, it will pause the video, and then you can resume as well. So again, these are handy features. You can enable them as well. And then underneath, we can now link this to a course. So let's select the course that we have. So this is the Web Design Course for Beginners. So this is fine. And which lesson is this part of? So as we said, this is point 1.1, which is part of lesson 1, obviously. Okay, so let's link this as well. So lesson 1. Very good. So you can set up a topic release schedule as well. So usually it should be immediately once they are enrolled in the course, they have access to it immediately, but you can make it available after a few days, maybe after 5 days or 3 days or something like this, or on a specific date. Again, this is really based on your own circumstances. And then here you can enter a short description. So this is basically a shorter version of the full description. You can enter the duration. So this one is 6 minutes and 43 seconds. So let's say 7 minutes, okay? And we have the hours as well. Do you want to enable video preview? You can tick this if you want to. And that's us done now. So let's click update. And now we can go back to our topics. There you go. As you can see, now this one is created. So let's have a quick look at our structure. So lesson 1.1.1 is now taken care of. So we still have point 1.2 and 1.3 to create, okay? Those two topics. Now you can do so very easily. All you have to do is hover on top and you can clone your topics, because obviously all you have to do is change the title, description, the video and video length. Everything else will remain the same. So this is going to save you a lot of time. So let me create those extra two topics now very quickly. And there you go, guys. You can see now we have point 1.1, 1.2 and 1.3. So let's go back to our lesson. So we go back to our course here. So this is web design courses for beginners. And we have the course content. As you can see, you have lesson 1, lesson 2. And at the moment, you have 3 topics part of lesson 1. So if you click on this to expand, there it is. Okay, so we have setting up your hosting, 1.2 registering your domain name, and 1.3 installing WordPress on your server. And if you click on these individually, you will see the content. So this is basically the video and a short description. And as you can see, you have the materials as well. So this is another short description or other bits of information you might want to provide as well. So if you go back to our topic, as you can see at the moment, the lesson progress says 0% completed. So you have to watch this normally and then mark this as complete. There you go. And you automatically go to the next one. As you can see, there are 3 different topics. So we are 33% complete. And if I was to watch this and mark this as complete, I would go to the next one. And now obviously we would be at 66% completion, obviously, you know. And if you do the same again, mark as complete, and that's it. This time we've done everything. So this is completed all together, and then you can move on to the next lesson. Now let's go back to our courses. Let's edit and let's take care of the settings this time. So we kept this for last because this is where you're going to set everything up relating to pricing and enrollment and all of that and all the prerequisites, you know. So as you can see, the access mode, is it open, free, buy now, recurring, or close? So open means it's absolutely free and they don't need to register to access it. If it's free obviously, you know, but they need to register to access the course. So this is a nice way of fetching emails that you might get in touch with them later on, maybe and offer a special deal or something like this. You have buy now, in which case it's a price, basically you could say it's $199 or something like this. You have recurring, so this is pay monthly, pay yearly, maybe pay weekly or something like this, and closed. So basically here we're going to select buy now as an example, and we're going to set this at $199. Now the most often used options are buy now and recurring. And if it's recurring, as you can see, you have the course price. So let's say 49, and then we have the billing cycle. So we can set this in days, weeks, months, and years. So let's say maybe, as you can see, valid to 1 to 24. So 1 month, okay. Recurring time 12 times, so over a year. Course trial price, let's say 0. The trial period is maybe 7 days, okay. So this is basically how you could set this up. So if you scroll down, now we have the courses prerequisites. So if you click on this, as you can see, compare mode, any selected or all selected. So what is that exactly? Well, the user must complete any of the selected courses in order to access this course, or the user must complete all selected courses in order to access this course. So this is again really up to you. So if you were to look here for a course, obviously there are none because you only have one. But if you go from one course to the other, to the other, to the other, maybe they need to complete course number 3 before going to course number 4. So this is basically almost like lessons, but for courses. So we have courses points here. So this is basically related to the prerequisite. You know, you might need to have 80 points or 200 points or 500 points depending on previous experience, you know, and then course access expiration as well. So now we have the course materials, course certificate, a challenge exam. So here you can select these, obviously, So we have the junior web designer certificate that we're going to hand out at the end. We have the content course, always visible or only visible to enrollee. Again, this is really up to you. And then we have the course progression. We have linear and freeform. So what's the difference? Well, let me show you here again with our structure here. So basically at the moment, if you follow this course, you're going to start from lesson 1, you're going to go to topic 1, topic 2, topic 3. So this is linear. And then you go to lesson 2 and then topic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if it's freeform, I can go and watch this one now. I can go and check this one afterwards. And then this one really at my own pace, whatever I feel like watching, So again, this is really up to you. You can select either of those. And that's basically it for the course, After this, click update and that's us done. So before we can test our course in the front end and see if we can get paid, obviously, we need to go back to our settings and double check. We did set this up initially, as you can see, with Stripe connected up, okay? We can also use PayPal or Razorpay. Either of those method will work fine, okay? So once you have this connected up to your backend here, you can then go back to the front end and put this to the test, okay? So let's click on course. And there you go. As you can see, at the moment, we're not enrolled. The price is $49. This is a recurring, obviously, every month for 12 months. So if you click on take this course, you're going to get the confirmation here. So the trial period is free for 7 days, like we set it up, and then 49 euros every month for 12 months. So if you click on take this course, it will bring you to the Stripe checkout page, and then you can proceed to checkout. And that's basically it. This is how easy it's working. And now let's take care of our next few steps. So we have quizzes, questions, and certificates. So you can also ask quizzes and questions before you actually provide them with a certificate. All these options obviously are optionals at the moment, okay? So these are the essential ones. You have to create your courses, lessons, and topics. And then after that, you can go ahead with those as well. So where are our quizzes? If you remember from our courses here, if we open our course and we go back to Builder, we had lesson 1, lesson 2, and as you can see at the end, we have the final quizzes. So you can create this from here immediately, or you can create that from the backend. Either way is absolutely fine. So let's go to quizzes and let's add a new one, okay? So let's call this one final quiz for the intro, or perhaps lesson 1, okay? There you go. You can put a content here if you want, and then we go to the builder. So this is our quiz created, and now we can add all the questions. So we had 3 different topics, so we might ask a question for each topic, So what is hosting for? Okay, the question. And then we can add a second one. So what is a domain name used for? Okay. And then another question, perhaps, how to install WordPress. Enter and add question, okay? So that's it. These are our 3 different questions. And now you can expand each one of them. So if you click on this, as you can see, you have all the content. And now you can add the different answers, okay? So you have choice number 1, number 2, number 3, multiple choice question, basically, okay? So if you click on this, you can answer your question. So you have answer 1, okay? Add a new one. So this one will be answer 2. And let's add one more, perhaps, So answer 3. There you go. Okay, so one of them is correct, obviously. So let's say answer 3 is the correct one. There you go. And then question settings. So you have extra settings as well here. A message that will display if your student selected the wrong option or the right or the correct answer. Okay, so what do you want to display? So maybe, well done, this is the right answer. And then perhaps here, oops, sorry, wrong answer, or whatever you want, obviously, and then you can click save. Okay, there you go. So this is question number 1, and then we can do the same with the other 2. So there you go, basically something like this, you know. So with question 1, what is hosting for? Answer 1, 2, or 3, and answer 3 is the correct one. What is domain name used for? Answer 1, 2, or 3, answer 1 is the correct one. And how to install WordPress? Answer 1, 2, or 3, and this is the correct one. After this, click update. Okay, just save your work just to be safe, and then we can discover the settings as well. So this is where you're going to select your course. So this is our web design course for beginners, and as we said, this is associated to lesson 1. Okay, so you can have quizzes for topics and also for the whole lesson, so as a whole basically. Okay, so we're going to select lesson 1. So if lesson 1 is fully completed, it will ask all these questions again, and then we can scroll down and we have the passing score. So this is really up to you. Could be 80%, could be 90%, maybe whatever it is, you know. And then you can assign a certificate. So we haven't created one at the moment, but if you wanted to add one, this is where you would select it. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead with no certificates for now. We're going to create that just in a minute. So let's click update, and now we have our quizzes done. So if we go back to our lesson, as you can see now it's completed. So if you were to refresh, as you can see, now we have access to the final quiz for lesson 1. So if you click on this, there you go. So let's start our quiz. So what is hosting used for? I think we selected answer 3 for this one. So let's go next. Yes, I think I selected 1 for this one and 2 for this one. So final quiz. And this is our results. And as you can see, we have a score of 100%. Fantastic, isn't it? Now, obviously, at completion here, you should normally be able to have access to your certificate. If this is the case, if you want to actually offer a certificate at the end, once the course is completed, you can go here into certificate and create a brand new one here, okay? So let's add our first certificate. So perhaps let's call this one Junior Web Design Certificate, and then you can use the certificate builder. So basically we're going to add a background picture and show how this will look like in the end. Okay, so use certificate builder. So this is very handy actually, you know. So you can upload the background first. So I found an image online, so let me see here. This is the one, so this is fine. And once it's uploaded, you can use it from a media library or can upload immediately from the media library. Either way is fine, you know. So there it is. So let's select our image here. There you go. That's what it looks like in the backend. And now we can add our different elements. So now you might want to enable the sidebar here because there are features that we need to access and use, obviously, you know. So let me hide myself here for a second. So I found out that when you disable the fixed viewport, it takes the full width, which is probably easier to design as well. Now it might depend on the type of device that you're using, you know. So I would recommend maybe to try this feature first. So what size page is it? Is it letter US or is it A4? So select the one that's appropriate, and usually the orientation is landscape. Most certificate would be oriented this way. Okay, so now we can start designing our certificate itself. So as you can see here, you can start typing away, you know, but that doesn't look great. It's not in the right place either. And as you can see, you have a plus here and this plus, and then we can add different elements basically, okay, on our page here. So on top we have Learn Dash. As you can see, these are info that we can fetch immediately from the database and display, like the username, the date of completion, the name of the course, and so on and so on. So this is the one here as well, you know, all these meta. And then you can have all the usuals like a heading, a paragraph, and even an image if you want to add a signature or something like this. Okay, so the first thing, obviously, as you can see on top, there's a lot of space. So the first thing we can add maybe is a spacer, you know. So let's add this. Very good. And then we can drag this down and we're going to start writing from here underneath. Okay, so first we could add maybe a heading. So let's look for a heading and let's type certificate of completion. Okay, now you might want to change this a little bit. So this text here, we are going to align this in the middle. So if you select this, you can go here by the side. It's everything related to your block and your font, you know. As you can see, you can change the appearance, letter case, and so on. So let's make this perhaps, I don't know, bold. Yeah, that'd be big enough. And let's try large, extra large, or you can change this manually as well, you know. As you can see, we're 40. Let's try maybe 60, see what it looks like. Sorry, 60. There you go. That's big enough. I think this is fine. Yeah. Okay. So certificate of completion. So let's add another spacer in between. So let's click spacer, add spacer here. Okay. So maybe like this. So when our spacer is now added, and if you click just underneath, you have the plus sign. Now we can add our different bits of information. Okay, so let's click on browse all, and as you can see, we have learn-course info, quiz info, group info, and learn-user meta. So what we need to use now is this one here, course info. Okay, let's click on this. So as you can see, we need to add a course ID. So where do you find this? Well, if you go back to your courses, okay, if you hover on top, right here at the bottom, let me zoom in very quickly, you will see it says 562. Okay, so now we go back here and we enter 562. And there you go. As you can see, now we have web design courses for beginners. So we can bring this underneath, we can center that. Okay, so certificate of completion for the course here, web design courses for beginners. And then now we can add another item. Perhaps we're going to select learn-course info again. Okay, and right here we're going to put 562 again. Okay, and what are we going to enter? Put this in the middle, and you can select all these different options. As you can see, you have course title, course URL, course point, price, type. And one information we are going to use is when it was completed. You see, course completed on. There you go. And then now let's add the name of our user, of a student. Okay, so this is the learn-user meta. If you don't see it here, you can go and fetch it there. Okay, let's click on this. There it is. So it doesn't look fancy because that's how I registered, you know, using the platform here. But if you have an actual student's name, it will display properly, obviously, you know. Now you might want to change this a little bit, maybe italic, make it look a bit fancy. And then we can change the font size as well, you know. So you can go here, make this a little bit bigger, maybe 35. There you go. That looks fine. And then all we have to do after this is click update. And now again, as I've shown you, you can tweak this around different ways. You know, you can add as many fields as you want from the course itself as well, and then maybe add an image as well as your signature or something like that. So once you've clicked update, you can go back to the certificates here, back to our WordPress dashboard, and there it is, Junior Web Designer certificate. Now if you want to provide this to your students at the end, as you can see here, it's at the end of our quiz. So for this, we go to our final quiz, lesson 1, click on this, we go to our settings, and if you scroll down, as you can see here with the quiz certificate, and now we can select our own certificate. There it is. Okay, once we've reached, let's say 80%. Okay, so let's click update. And now if we go back to our quiz here, remember we reached 100%, so let's refresh. And there you go. And now, as you can see, we have print your certificate. So if we click on this, it will open up in a new tab, and there you go. This is our certificate of completion for web design courses, and this should normally be the name of your student. As you can see, this is my assigned username as an admin, but don't worry about that. Normally it would say John Doe or something like that. Okay, so that's basically it. So let's go back to our dashboard now, and let's take care of the final settings. So now let me show you an extra few different options that might come in handy for you as well. It might be applicable in your set of circumstances. So we have groups here. So if I click on this, what are groups? Well, basically, users can be placed into groups and assigned a different group leader who can track the progress and performances of any of the users in that group. So that's pretty self-explanatory, isn't it? So maybe you have different teachers actually looking after different type of areas of your courses. Perhaps maybe one is specialized in web design, the other one UI UX, maybe the other one is CSS and coding, and so on. So you might want to have them to look after different groups. You also have challenge exams, so very similar to quizzes. You know, this one, if you add your challenge exams, you can add different questions and answers. So this works basically on the same principle. And then you can also create coupon codes, so you can offer specific discounts, maybe 10%, 20%, or an exact number, maybe $50 off, and so on and so on. So this is a very nice marketing trick, obviously, you know, to attract more students to your website. And there you go, that's all for our courses. We all done now. So now we can take care of our front end. So let's go back here and let's go to the home page. So as you can see, this is our default template. This is the theme we selected. So obviously we have customized this with our own content and to reflect our business model. So how can we do so? Well, let's take care of this right now. Okay, so let's go back to our WordPress dashboard. And for this, we're going to go to pages. Okay, so here, as you can see, we have all our different pages. So we have the About Us, contact page, home page, pricing page, and also some essential pages that come with Learn-LMS. So we have the profile page, refund and return policy registration, and so on and so on. Okay, so basically we're going to take care of two pages here, the home page and the contact page, and you can take care of the About Us page based on the same principles. Okay, so let's go to our front end. So basically here we have a header section with a menu and a call to action button. Then we have our main content, which is basically all the content of our page. And finally at the bottom we have the footer section. So these are three areas that we need to take care of. Okay, so basically we're going to start with the content of our page, and then we'll take care of the menu section and then the footer section. So let's go ahead with this. So we have the home page here. As you can see, this is the front page, and to edit this, all you have to do is click on it. So again, we are going to use Gutenberg here, which is the built-in page builder that comes with WordPress, and it's super easy to use and also very fast to load. So it's very, very good indeed. So as you can see, if you scroll down the page, this is basically our page, the way it looks like in the front end, but you have different areas, and now you can edit basically the whole content here to make it your own. So as you can see, you have two different colors here. So maybe we're going to put become a professional web designer. Let's say all the courses on our website are related to how to become a web designer. So become a professional, and then here we're going to remove the end. Okay, web designer. There you go. So we might put this with a capital letter, just like this. Okay, so there you go. This is our heading change. So very easy indeed. And now feel free to add a subheading here, or whatever you want, you know. So right there we have two different buttons. So if I click on this one, it says get started. Okay, so now we need to link this to something. So let's say we go back to the home page here. Let's click on the initial page, the course. So as you can see, we have only one course. If this is the case, all you need to do is copy this URL here and just paste it here. So click on the small edit and then paste it right there. Okay, and then hit submit. And that's basically it. Now, if you have more than one course, obviously you might have to remove the end of the URL. So let me zoom in very quickly. So here it says /courses/web design course for beginners. Now, if you remove everything that's after the last trailing slash here, enter, and there you go. As you can see, we'll display the course itself. Now, if you have multiple courses, you will have web design, maybe CSS coding, programming, and so on and so on. So you could have all the different courses lined up here, and then they could select them, obviously, you know. If this is the case, all you have to do is just to select this address then, and obviously insert it here. Okay, so get started, there you go, and then enter. And then we have the learn more button here. As you can see, it's #design matters, and this is basically linked to a section here, so which is this one here. Okay, design matters. So basically here, if you see, if I click on this whole section, and if you go to advanced, you will see there's an anchor here. Okay, design matters. So whatever sections you select, if you put an anchor, you can link this immediately from a button and it will go straight to that section. So let me show you this in effect. So if I click on this, it goes straight to that section. That's basically it. Okay, now let's take care of our background image here. So how do you change this? Well, that's basically the background image for the whole section. So if you click on the section itself, there you go, on the background, it will display all the different options here, and the one we need is the background settings, and there is our image. So you can basically replace it with something else, you know. So if you wanted to remove this one, you can remove the image, select a new image. So let's click upload file, select file, I go to my downloads, and there is the image here. So let's select this one. Let's insert. There you go. And as you can see, now we have totally different feel. Now you can position this differently as well. You know, you can center that on top or maybe the bottom, whichever way you want to display basically. Okay, so this is how you can change the image. And then we can scroll down the page and take care of our next section. So design matters. As you can see here, we have title, subtitle, and a bit of description, and also 3 different sections here. Now again, you can customize everything based on your own business model requirements and whatever it is, you know. So all you have to do is basically here type away, you know. So let's say become a professional web designer in 7 easy lessons. There you go. Okay, and then you can type something else and so on and so on. So now here we have those different sections. I can see this one. As you can see, if you go to blog, this is an info box. So you have different layouts, obviously, you know. So you have this one here. You can select this type, maybe this one here, this one. As you can see, it's flexible, you know. It's really up to you. You can apply any layout that you want. So let's go maybe with this one. This is not bad. And then you can link that to an internal page. All you have to do is paste the link here basically. Okay, and that's basically it. You know, now you can do this with all of them. So if I was to click on this one, I can change the layout. Let's go for this, and let's do the same here. So they all look similar. So that looks very nice now. So let's scroll down. So here, meet your instructor. So here you can put any picture that you want. Again, you know, all you have to do is basically click on the background here. So let's go to our section. Let's open our background settings. This is where the image is. As you can see, you can move it up and down as well. So let's delete and let's select a new image. I'm going to upload a new one. So I found 2 different images. I might as well upload them now. So let's go with this one. Why not? You know, let's select. There you go. So it could be meet your instructor, or it could be anything, you know. It doesn't have to be exactly this. So you can turn this around. Obviously, you can say maybe learn how to code, you know. And then here you could have a description, you know, learn how to code with PHP, maybe HTML, maybe CSS, a bit of JavaScript and so on, because that's the image that's there. And this is most likely something that people will relate to when they want to become a web designer, obviously, you know. And then let's scroll down. So as you can see, I start designing better websites today. So we can change this, okay? Or this is fine as well. Let's say if the courses are related to web design, you can leave it as is. And again, we have the get started. So here you're going to put the same URL that we had earlier on. Either you're going to put the course itself or courses in general for all the courses, obviously, depending if you have one course or multiple courses. So let's go for the multiple courses here. So edit, paste, submit, and that's basically it. Okay, so let's scroll down again. So right here, we're at invest in knowledge, everything you need in one package. And that's basically your course. Okay, so now let's replace the image. So we click on it, and as you can see, we don't have any options here to replace that because this is a cover image. So we have to click on this basically here, replace, open media library, and let's select this one here that we just uploaded. There you go. And as you can see, you can place this differently, you know, somewhere. So basically, maybe just about here would be just about perfect. Okay, and now we can take care of the content here. So web design course, so this is fine, and it says $99 one-time payment. So let's go back to our course here. So let's open this. So as you can see, this one is $49 every month for 12 months. So we're going to change this. Okay, so let's click on this. So here we're going to put 49, and then here, instead of one-time payment, we're going to put per month for 1 year. There you go. Simple, isn't it? And then here you can put the content, whatever it is, you know. So remember, we had our structure here, so maybe you can copy and paste this, whichever works for you, you know, or maybe just highlight the main important lessons. So don't forget from time to time to click update as well to save your work. And then you have buy now. So here, obviously, this is a link, and this will go directly to this course here. Okay, so now we copy this one and then edit, paste, and then submit. And that's basically it for this section. So let's keep scrolling down. So here again is the same principle, guys. Okay, all you have to do is basically click on it, edit this, and change the content. And you can do so with all the buttons and whatever is on this page. So it's not that complicated at all, you know. As you can see, it's pretty self-explanatory. Now, when it comes to the accordion here, all the different questions, as you can see, this is a FAQ section. A lot of people like to know how can I pay, how long are the courses, can I ask for refund and things like this, you know, all the genuine questions. So how can you handle this? Well, basically, if you click on this, then you can edit, you know, how does the money back guarantee work? Okay, so let's say, can I request a refund if I'm not satisfied? Okay, and then let's add a space here, question mark, and then you can add the content here. Okay, so you can type away, you know, type your content here. Okay, and that's very simple. Now, as you can see, there's a few of them. Now, if you don't need that many or you want to add more, it's very simple. You know, if you want to add an accordion item, let's add a new one together. So you go back to the top. As you can see, of the accordion here, that's our whole section. So let's add an accordion item together. So let's add the title. So this is the question. Okay, and this is the answer. Okay, very simple. And now if you wanted to remove any of those questions, you have too many, basically click on it and then go to those three dots and then remove pane, and that's it. Okay, and then the last call to action here, start designing better websites today, how to learn. So you can change this with your own text, and again link this to any internal pages. So it could be this course again, and then insert the link right there like we just did before. Okay, so click update, and now if we go back to our home page, let's click on the logo. And there you go. As you can see, now we have our own image, become a professional web designer. If I click on get started, it should bring me directly to the courses. Exactly, perfect. And if I click on learn more, it's going to bring me to this section. So become a professional web designer in 7 easy lessons. And as you can see, these are all our imagery and everything the same way we did. As you can see here, web design courses, $49 per month for 1 year. There you go. So the home page is taken care of. The next page we're going to change is the contact page. So as you can see, we have a contact form here and then a few details where you can contact you. So let's take care of this one now. So let's go back here. We can exit out of this. We go back to the WordPress dashboard, and this time we're going to open the contact page. So there you go. As you can see here, you can put contact or maybe contact us or contact page, whatever you want, you know, and then right here you can change this as well. So maybe use this contact form after working hours or something like this, you know, and we'll endeavor to reply as quick as possible. And then you have this form here. So basically you have all these different fields. So if I click on this, as you can see, this is the first name, the last name, email address, and the message. Now, how does this work? Let's say if you wanted to add an additional field like phone number, for instance. Okay, so what you can do basically is to duplicate this one. So let's duplicate this. So we're going to keep the email address on top, and maybe we're going to change this to your phone number. Okay, and as you can see here by the side with email settings, so is those two fields basically. Okay, so the second one is this one here. So let's open this. So here, field type, we're going to change this to text. If it's a phone number, is it required? Perhaps not, or it's up to you. Let's keep it required, and we're going to change this to phone number. Okay, and then you can show the label, and you can also have a placeholder. So for instance, so here you could give them an example, e.g., and then +1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0. Okay, and this way they're all going to follow the same pattern. It's just to give them a hint basically. Okay, and then you have the message box, and you could have this as well for GDPR purposes. Perhaps if you're based in Europe or something, you can have please tick this box if you agree to the privacy policy, and so on and so on. And then we have the submit button here, and just to change the content here, instead of let's talk, maybe submit or whatever, you know, you can change this text as well. And now you want that to reach you, obviously, you know. So as you can see by the side here, we have actions after submit. So this would be email. Now suppose you want to email that to yourself, and then if this is the case, where do you want to email this? Well, click on this, and then you can put your email address. So I'm just going to put hello@mrweb.tv. okay, and then you can change the email subject, so maybe inquiry from the website. Yeah, and that's it. So from name, so let's say Mr. Web. Okay, and that's basically it. So let's click update for now. So that's basically it for our form. And then underneath, this one is pretty self-explanatory, very easy, you know, technical support or sales support. So maybe contact us, and you can put the address as well here, you know. So maybe 123, street name, location, you know, and then maybe let's say New York, the postcode 11011, and then United States, okay? Or something similar, obviously, yeah, based where you are. You can change your phone number here. As you can see, you have an icon, ready icon, which is nice. You can put your opening hours and your email address. So here, perhaps you could have info@yourdomainname.com. Okay, and you can do the same here. Now, if you only want one section, you don't need both of them, you can delete this one altogether, you know. All you have to do is click on this and then remove advanced text. Do the same with this one, and again with this one, and so on. Okay, so this is basically how you can do it as well. Now, if you made a mistake, you did it by mistake, you can always go back as well, you know, with this arrow here, and that's basically it. So again, as always, don't forget to click update to save your changes. And now that we have our pages completed, you can go back to your WordPress dashboard. So there you go, with all the pages taken care of. So now let's have a look at our front end. So we're going to change our logo now, link those to different pages, and let's have our purchase button and call to action linked directly to our course. Okay, so for this time we go to appearance, we go to menus. Very good. As you can see here, make sure you select the primary menu, which is this one. So click select, and there it is. As you can see, we have course, pricing, about, and contact, which is basically what we have here. Okay, now if you wanted to change this, well, very easily, you can select any of those pages, any of those content here, and add that to your menu section. So we don't have any of the courses. What you need to do is click on screen options. We have courses, we have lessons, we have topics, we have quizzes, we have groups, so you can add all of these as well to your menu section. So let's scroll down. As you can see, now we have courses. So if you wanted to add a specific course, which is the one here, web design course for beginners, let's add this to our menu section. Now we can delete this one here, remove, and let's bring this to the top. So basically you just drag and drop it, okay, and there it is now. So if you click on that, now we can change the title, so web design course, okay, and now let's click save. So that's been added to our menu. So let's go back here, let's refresh. As you can see, now we have web design course, and there you go. This is going to bring us directly to our main course here. Okay, now obviously we don't need pricing, so we can remove this. We're going to keep about and contact. That's all we need basically. Okay, so let's click save, let's refresh, and let's double check everything is okay. So we have design course and our contact page we just created. Very good, so that's working fine. Now let's change our menu and the call to action button. So for this we go to customize, and there you go. So now if you hover on top, as you can see, you can edit all these different sections. So if I click on the small pencil here, you can see at the bottom here, this is our menu section, the way it is. And if you click on that small gear next to the logo, it will bring you here. Okay, so now we can change the logo. So you can remove this one and upload a new one. So we already had one from before, MrWeb.tv. So let's select this, and then you can crop or not. This is really up to you. I'm going to skip cropping here. As you can see, it is way too small. So let's make it a little bit bigger. So maybe perhaps like this. This is fine. And that's basically it. This is how we can change your logo. So publish after this. And we also have our call to action button. So if you hover on top, there's a small pencil. Click on this. So instead of purchase, maybe get started. Okay, and then we need to put the URL here. So remove this one, and let's select our main course, so web design course, which is this one. So Control C and then Control V. Okay, and then publish, and that's it. That's just done for the header. So let's go back here and let's go to the home page, and let's click on our get started. And there you go, guys. You can see this is bringing us directly to the page for our course. And the last thing to take care of now is our footer section. As you can see, a few hyperlinks and then a short about us section and a few social media icons. So let's go back here so we can come out of this again. And now we go to the footer section right here, okay? So as you can see here, we have widget 1, 2, 3, 4, and we also have social icons as well. So social icons you can change from here immediately. All you have to do is click on this, and then from here you can add as many social icons as you want. So let's add another one together. So let's say YouTube, okay? So there you go. Now you have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And maybe you don't use Facebook anymore. So you go here, remove icon, okay? And now how do you actually add the link to your social media platforms? Very easy. You go to set local links. There you go. And this is all your links. So you're going to put your Twitter link here, your Instagram there, and YouTube here. And that's basically it. Okay. So that's all for the social media icons. Now let's go back to our footer. And as you can see, a widget 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you can't change this from here. So now we have to go back to our WordPress dashboard. So I've opened that in another tab here. So this time we go to Appearance, Widgets. So you can close this. And as you can see, you have footer 1, footer 2, footer 3, footer 4. So if you click on this, there it is. As you can see, website, and then 3 hyperlinks. You open footer 2 resources, 3 hyperlinks, and footer 3 support and 3 hyperlinks. So how do you change this? Well, basically all you have to do is to click on them, okay? And as you can see, this is the title and a menu section. So again, if you wanted to change these, you'll have to create different menus. So let me open this in a new tab as well. So you remember we took care of our primary menu, but there's 3 different ones here. You have company, contact, and support. So let's say the first one here, if you click on it, this one is called company. So if you edit this one, company, select. Now you can delete this all together, okay? So bulk select. And you can start afresh with something new, okay? So let's say if you had your lessons here, you want to add lesson 1, lesson 2. Okay, and then you can change this to lessons, save, and then you can go to the next one. This one is support, select. As you can see, help doc, template, community. Maybe you want to delete this all together. Select them all, remove, and then you can add whatever you want. Let's say the profile page, you want the reset password page, the registration page, and perhaps pricing as well. Add and click save. And now if we go back here and if you refresh, you will see this will take effect, obviously, you know. So let's open footer 1. As you can see now, lesson 2, lesson 1, and then we have contact, privacy policy, refund policy, and now we have profile, reset password, registration, and pricing, you see. So this is how you can change all the content on your footer section. Now let's have a quick look here in the front end. So let's refresh. Very good. As you can see, these are our new links exactly the way we created them. So now how do you change the short about us section here? Because a lot of people will scroll down the page to find out who you are. Well, very easily. As you can see, this is widget 4. So we go back here again, footer 4, open this, and there it is. So it's just like text, you know. So let's put Mr. Web, and then the content here, you can change this to whatever you want, you know. So let's copy and paste some text here, maybe something like this, okay? And then let's click update. So let's have a quick look again just to make sure everything is okay. And there you go, guys, all done and dusted. Okay, so now maybe you want to learn how to start a dropshipping business. If this is the case, you can go and watch this video here.